Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has apologised to his people for what he calls an unnecessary public health scare in eastern Thailand. He acknowledges that the country in general is letting its guard down in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. Concerns have been growing over a possible second wave of infections after an Egyptian soldier who was part of a military delegation was found to have contracted the coronavirus. The country reported 7 new cases today, all of them Thai nationals who returned from abroad. The death toll stands at 58. Now, for more, let's speak to Success Sapat. He's in Bangkok. So, Success, we understand there's been a tightening of measures to curb the further spread of COVID-19. Tell us, how are they related to this Rayong incident?
Well, before we get to that, Glenda, let's recap what actually happened here. So basically, the reason why we have a health scare right now is that a delegation of the Egyptian military that came to Thailand last week, 31 people to be precise, and some of them have left the hotel. They were supposed to isolate themselves and actually went to public places, including a shopping mall, including one of them is actually a man who was tested positive for the virus later on. So this is what we are looking at right now. This is the situation that the Thai authorities are dealing with. And the consequences of them are now that the health authorities are scrambling to contact trace as many people as they can in the vicinity of the hotel and also of the mall and also around the city in Rayong as well. About 400 people were registered on the check-in and check-out platform by the government, and they were told to self-isolate for 2 weeks now. And they were also doing, as I said, contact tracing and other swabs, test swabs as well. Now, on the legal side, there are consequences further going on as well. There are all flights by the Egyptian military that were supposed to drop by or to stop over here in Thailand have been now cancelled and suspended until further notice. And the same goes also as well for many other foreign travelers that were already permitted to come here to Thailand, including diplomats, including businessmen that have been given prior permission. They have been now suspended indefinitely, as well as the authorities are now reviewing the process and the protocols that have apparently failed in this case here before they're being renewed.
What has the public reaction been to this latest military-related incident, though?
There is a lot of anger and also a lot of fear of a potential second wave of infection here in Thailand. It stems from the fact that Thailand has been doing rather well or comparatively well in combating the coronavirus pandemic, in flattening the curve, as they always like to say. We have had 50 days without any locally transmitted case here, and this incident here has put it onto danger. And the feeling by a lot of Thais, especially if you look on social media, is that all the sacrifices, all the self-discipline and the restraint that the Thai people and other locals and residents, including foreign residents here in Thailand as well, have done over the past few months might have been for naught. And in the apparent incident that others that come here to Thailand that have not been put under quarantine have apparently been flaunting them. Now, there's also been a lot of anger directed at the military, even though the military didn't have a direct involvement in this incident of those Egyptian military officers, but it definitely goes against the perceived privilege that men in uniform have in this case.
Thanks for that update. Success Sapat speaking to us from Bangkok.